So I have been aggressively analoguing my life, and I want to try and show you some of the anti-bored measures I've taken. Essentially, goal is to reach for phone less and other things more. So let's start with some basics. These are just some games that I keep on hand. These are single player fair. Technically, it's one of many, but I have lots of decks of cards. I try to gather different ways of playing solitaire and single player games, and these will come into play later too. I've got Canoodle, and I've got a little magnetic chess set, and these are some of the games that I play by myself. Just makes things a little bit easier. Then I've got, now this kind of might like role-playing games. So these are my dice. You use regular cards, you can use tarot cards, depends on what the game is, but like you buy and you print out these essentially journal prompts that you can like roll for or draw cards for, and you just kind of write a story as you go along. And I've got a dedicated journal for that, so that the reason I have one of these is this is technically an A6 binder, so I can potentially have multiple games going at the same time without having to stop anyone. So it's in here. I need to do that more often. So those are some of the games. Another game type thing that I've been leaning into is puzzle books and just things like that. So I've got like, this is like a cold case files themed puzzle book. These are both word searches. I've gotten really into Sudoku. I've been surprised by how much I like Sudoku. I actually have 2 whole finished puzzles in here. There's one, and there's another one. And I can't believe I'm doing all of that. And then I've got Simply Easy word search crossword puzzles from the New York Times. So these are a couple things that I keep in my little bin on hand. Other aspects of games that I try to keep on hand is I have a bunch of gaming handhelds. This is my Ambernick, which has, I think, the most games on it. I won't say the most games. Ooh, she's on. She should probably not be on. But, I need to charge her. So let me power this down. Power off. That's in here. And then I also have my Switch, which is a couple years old now. I got this not when it came out, but you know, a couple years after. I think in 2020. No, it wasn't in 2020. I distinctly remember that it wasn't 2020, because 2020 is when Animal Crossing came out, and I was like, everyone's gonna be done with Animal Crossing by the time I get into Animal Crossing. And they were, and I was never able to get into Animal Crossing. Excuse me. And then we've got these, which are my other consoles. This one I've had since I was a teenager, and I recently modded. It's my 3DS. It's got lots and lots of games on here. I find myself playing the chillest one the most, which is the Conveni Dream, which is just a convenience store management sim, and it's easy and it's chill and it's fun. You essentially just have to make sure everything stays stocked. And then I've got my PS Vita, which I play less than I would like to. I played a lot of Quake on here, Quake 2, because they made a port for it, and that's kind of what I reach for. So those are the video aspects of things. But then there's also other aspects of things like reading. So I've been getting into library books a lot. And these are the two that I've got checked out right now. I've got The Paleontologist for my fiction read. It's about dinosaur ghosts. I don't know how you can get cooler than that. I'm really enjoying The Paleontologist. And then there's Stolen Focus, which is about this whole attention economy thing where we're constantly having our brains sucked and juiced for every iota of attention that they can give. And it's like, I would like to shut that off sometimes, please. And thank you. So those are the physical books that I have, both from the library. And then I've got something else. It's also in here that I keep it with my Ambernick. So like if I'm going out and about, I'll throw this pouch in so that I've got my Ambernick and I've got my Books Palma. I made that art. And then it turns on automatically when I open this. Let me just... Wrong pin. Don't tell me what to do. I will say, I come across most of my books for less than asking price as far as ebooks. But I've got all of these apps on here, and I like it because you're not limited to the Kindle store. I've like stopped using the Kindle store completely. I got rid of Kindle Unlimited because I'm like, I'm not using it enough. But you got Hoopla, you got your Libby, you got Spotify if you want to listen to podcasts, and audiobooks. I got rid of Audible too because I was just like, I wasn't using it, and I was like, if I need an audiobook, I'll find it on Libby. So e-reader, this is really nice e-reader. And my friend got me these stickers that are on the back, which are really cute. I need to make sure that this gets back in here. Something else that I'm trying to reach for my phone less on is music. And for that, I've got CDs. I'm not going to get out the CDs because they're kind of tucked away. My CD player is on a rolling cart, on the bottom of a rolling cart that's like right next to me, as well as a speaker that I can plug this into. This is my MP3 player. It's a Meechin. I made the lanyard myself. You can probably tell because it looks like ass. And there's a lot of space on here that I just haven't used yet because I'm trying to expand my music palette without using Spotify, which is very, very difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is mostly Taylor Swift. This is mostly Taylor Swift, again, gotten for less than asking price. So, and then lastly, a thing that I feel like lastly isn't, not lastly, because there's more. Wait, there's more. I was influenced. I got the Kodak Charmera. If you're not familiar, this went a little bit viral in 2025. It was one of the most popular cameras. It is just a really tiny, it's Charmera, and that it's what it says on the box. It's a camera that fits on a keychain, and like it totally works. There it goes. And then you can select photos or videos or set the date and time. And then there you go. And you just take your little pickies. And it's really cute. But it's not super high quality, so I also got this one. I don't know if I can endorse this one, so don't get this one just because I have it. I'm not sure if I like it. But part of the gimmick of this one is that this whole thing rotates. So you can like do selfie mode or like this. And what I've noticed about carrying around these two is that as opposed to just being able to take pretty pictures, because like my phone camera has become mostly utilitarian. Like I'm taking pictures of like my time cards. I'm taking pictures of something I want to save for later. I'm taking pictures of the hours on a store window. I'm taking a screenshot of like a reference that I want to come back to. Like that's what most of my camera roll is things that I want to come back to for purely reference purposes. These I'm finding I want to reach for these for purely aesthetic purposes. And I will be looking for those beautiful moments more because I have these in my hands, which I think is beautiful. Something else, I don't think I mentioned this. I started getting CDs from the library. There are only a few we need to fund our public libraries because there are only a few branches in my city that still carry CDs. And this is another way I'm trying to expand my music palette, is by literally just grabbing random CDs off of the shelves, listening to them and being like, I don't really like this. And so far I haven't found one that I have liked, but that's a skill issue. That's on me. So that's, you know, stuff. And then lastly, and I think most important, is my journaling system. So I already showed you my gaming journal. And my planner just fell on the floor. And I think I've shown these on my channel before, but I've kind of broken it down a little farther. So this one is now exclusively a planner. I've got like a little Kinbor planner, which is basically a Hobonichi dupe if you haven't heard of it. In the back, I've got like random like brain dump stuff. And then in the front, I've got like daily tasks lists so that I know what I'm doing. It helps me if I need to like time block and stuff like that. And then the other thing that the planner does is it serves as like a log. At the end of the day, I go back and I see what I did and didn't do. I'm really bad at checking things off in here. I need to be better about it. The other journal I have is like more of a proper journal. So this is like my longhand personal journal. Then I've got a sketchbook in here. I'm trying to show you a good page in the sketchbook. Good page. Isn't that really subjective? Just some pen sketches. And then I've got a journal that in theory is for writing fiction, is currently completely blank. And then I've got a commonplace thing where I just keep random notes and stuff. Excuse me, I was sick last week and I'm still kind of getting over it. So what is all of this garbage that I have accumulated, right? Why do all this when you can keep notes and diary entries on your phone? You can play Sudoku on your phone. You can play video games on your phone. You can take pictures on your phone. You can play music on your phone. What is the point? What is the point? And I'm going to tell you. It's to get some of your life back. It's to take some of the intentionality back into your life, to put your brain someplace productive, someplace where it's building and forming connections as opposed to simply mindlessly consuming. And you might think that this is mindless consumption, just reading a book, but you have to keep yourself engaged. And if you're following specifically a fiction book, you have to follow your plot points. You have to make sure you can't just kind of consume a bite-sized bit like you can with a tweet or with a X post. I'm still dead naming Twitter. Elon can pull that from my cold dead hands. I feel like this isn't even all of it. Like this is like an arsenal that I'm building up to make sure my dog is moving towards the door. So I might need to wrap up here quick. Yeah, he wants to go outside. But this is like an arsenal of just things to help keep me on top of stuff, to keep me honest, to keep me good and away from the computer. Not away from the computer, away from the phone. Away from the phone. I'm really bad at this. So this has just been like a little kind of breakdown of the things that I have. And I'm honestly doing it mostly because I'm really proud I got through some Sudoku puzzles today. And I am just really enjoying this stepping back, this intentionality, this like being present for life instead of letting it pass you by. All right, so bye-bye.